Hey everyone, Quentin's here. Today's video will be the first video of a 6 video series. So we're gonna talk about getting started on the Davra platform. So we're gonna go through a 7-unit training course to learn how to use the main feature of the AEP. You can find this training course on the dev portal. So inside developer.davra.com. Inside get started section, you'll see here the 7 units. So today we're going to focus on unit 1, the first steps on the AEP. So if you click here, we can see there's like kind of listen instruction which are gonna guide us through creating device, adding data to the device, and building our first application with some device simulator and working with rules engine. So that kind of give you a quick look of what the platform is capable of, and show you how to create an app in such an easy way. So before we start, I'm gonna work with this tenant here, quentin.davra.com. So it's not a brand new tenant. I already have some app and devices created here, but it shouldn't be an issue for the video. And the resources and code I'm going to use are in the public repo called Davra Starter Guide. So in github.com/Davra Starter Guide, you'll be able to find some of the script we need to execute to generate data. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So here in my tenant, the first step is to create a device. So device is kind of the key resources of the platform. Here, device listing in the first item, we'll add a new one. So it's going to be a logical device, just a default device. In here we're going to upload it like a Quentin YouTube unit 1. So that'll be our device. We're going to use this as serial number and just create that device. We can view now the device in device listing. So as you can see, so it's been created today, never been seen, which means we never send that data to that device. But if you click on it, you can see it's kind of detailed page where here we got some of the device info, the location of the device. So currently it hasn't been seen, so it's like in 0, 0 in the middle of the ocean. And here are some details. So labels, we're going to work with labels in unit 2, I think unit 3. Attachments are useful to if you want to attach some documents, manuals, stuff like that to a specific device. Incidents, we're going to see how to create incidents later on. And here the metrics are where data, like we push data against. So we also going to work on this in a few. Here's more about like device automation. This will be covered to unit 4, I think, or unit 3. I'm not exactly sure. Remember. Okay. So following the unit here. So if I go back there, we created our device. We're happy. In order to add data to the device, we'll have to add metrics. So I can show you there. You can add metrics under the settings. Here, metrics. And basically to add the metric, you just press the button add, and you'll see here add the name, the label, and the units. Okay, so I have already created the metrics I need for this unit. So it's kind of, we're gonna work with reactive power, voltage, and stuff like that. So just to make sure you add the following metrics here to your tenant. Okay, now what we'll do is push some data point to our device. So to do so, we'll have to, as you can see, download the code from the Davra Starter Guide and just edit the config file. So you'll have just to set your tenants. So in my case, it will be quentin.davra.com. Then you have to put the username and password and the device UID of the device you just created. How do you get the UID of the device you just created? Really simple. So go back here in the device listing. You can see it here, but if you click here, you'll see the device ID up there or here. So we're just going to copy this, and what I'll do is here I have opened the code. I'm just going to change the password and the UID of the config file just gonna hide that. I don't want to show you the password. Up. So I'm just editing here the config. Up, save. Gonna close this up and bring it back in there. So up. Let me clear that. Okay, so I just edited the config here. As you can see, it's been modified, but I'm not going to show you what's in there. What you need to do is make sure you're inside the unit1 folder and just do an npm install. Okay, so if you don't know what npm install is or stuff like that, or don't know how to install it, you'll have to install Node.js on your local machine. There's a lot of tutorials out there how to do it. Anyway, so here it's installed all the dependencies we'll need to be able to run that script. And now that it's ready, we're gonna run the script. So we're just gonna do a node up on the data.js script, 1.2 script. We're gonna run this. So here it went pretty fast. As you can see, we generate the data, we validate the device, and now we send the data. Execution script complete. So that's very good. If we go back now here and we reload the page, we'll see that few data points have been pushed in the last 2 days, and this is basically the data that our script has generated for us. So if we scroll down here, as you can see, we targeted the metrics we just created, and you can see here there's some data has been pushed to these devices. Okay, so this is the visualization Davra provide out of the box. But what we're going to work on now is create an application of our own to be able to render this data and play with it. All right, so if we go back to applications here, I'm going to create a new application. I'm going to call it unit1. Unit1. Unit 1. All right, and up, we're gonna create it. So unit 1 has been created. We're gonna press this like pencil icon to go in edit mode and be able to add widgets to our application. So as you can see here, our app is pretty empty. You can customize your app by playing here with some colors and stuff like that if you want to. We can have a nice pink here. So the blue button here will be changing when the app will be in view mode, and you can change also logo and stuff like that, but we won't do it for now. Okay, so from there, let's start by adding our first widget. So Davra provides out of the box a collection of widgets. So there's a lot of different type of widget: table, chart, simple UI components, like that. So we're just gonna work with the easiest, let's say the simple line chart. So here we're gonna pick that one, select, and here we can rename it. So following the tutorial, I think it would be active power. So we're gonna display here the active power. And here it'll be for any device. We'll pick a metric that we want to render. So up, active power. We're gonna group by we'll leave the default value here, but here for the time bucket we'll leave auto seconds. I think average 1 second. Maybe we can add a bit more, like 10 seconds. Okay. Yeah, maybe 5 seconds. I think it'll be easier like that. Okay, so now we can apply the settings, and we'll see, as you can see, now it's rendering for any device the active power. Okay, I'm gonna press done. Okay, so here it is. As you can see, the big widget here. So we can talk quickly about the filter there, so you can pick a specific device and it will render for that specific device. So for example, here in this top thermometer there is no active power, but if I pick back my quantum YouTube one, I'll be able to see there. There's a time filter here, we're going to talk about it later. So I'm happy with that. I'm just going to resize this a little bit like this. It'll be useful for later. So I just resize the device. You can move the widget wherever you want. We're just going to leave it there. Let's straight up add another widget, which is going to be our device simulator. So as mentioned before, we push data using a script, but there's also some widgets that can help you to push data for you. So inside input control section, if you scroll down, you'll see the input knob 1. We're going to click on it. And just select. So there's no config special for this widget, so we just, you know, you can add it here and we'll put it down there up, and we can resize this like that. Okay. So now we're gonna talk a bit more about how this widget works here. We can pick a device, so it'll be this one, and for example here we can add some active power. And we can say like, oh yeah, send data points every 5 seconds, and basically every 5 seconds it will send a new data point. Okay, so it'll be like, oh cool, it's pushing data, but like this chart here doesn't seem to be refreshing. It'd be nice if you can have some update there on real time. So currently every 5 seconds data point is pushed to that device. So in order to get this widget to automatically update, we need to click on the time selector here. And we can pick here the last, for example, here I think it's getting the last 24 hours. We're gonna reduce to the last 60 minutes. And here it's kind of auto refresh option. And we're gonna say like, okay, I want you to auto refresh every 5 seconds. And we close. Basically every 5 seconds it would auto refresh, and you can see add the new data point as this one gets created. Okay, so this is adding up every X second the new data point in real time, which is pretty cool. All right, so we got this working. We're gonna leave this for now running and pushing data point. We're gonna keep working on the active power and try to add what we call a rule. So this is the active power we want to monitor it, and basically we would be happy to know when this active power reach a certain threshold, right? Maybe trigger an alert where because it's an expected value. So in order to do this, what we'll have to do is create a rule in the rules engine. So rules engine is a compartment of the platform. So I'm gonna open here a new tab, the rules engine here, and basically there's two parts of rules engine. There's a trigger. So what is the condition that need to be met to trigger the rule? And then there's the actions that, okay, what action should be done once the rule is fired. So we're gonna create a new one. It'll be like unit 1 rule. I'm gonna create this one. And here what I'll do, so in triggers, I'm gonna add a new trigger. I'm gonna create a threshold trigger, so when the value exceeds the threshold limit. Okay, so we're gonna name it active power greater than 70. Okay, and here we can target only our sensors. So here, if you want, we can select only our sensors. If we put like here YouTube 1, or we can say like, oh, just for all the device. So maybe we'll just do it for all devices. And here if we pick active power greater than 70. Okay, so this will be triggered every time the active power gets above 70. As an action, as a result of this, we're going to create an incident report. All right, so this is the first type of action. As you can see, there's a lot of different type of actions, but we'll review some of them later in this training. So here we're going to create a new incident report. So an incident report is an event that is pushed against the device. So I will show you now how to create one. So the name, what can be the name, will be like a high active power detected, or high active power. And what has been detected. And here we can say it's going to be a warning, and maximum be 1 per 1 second, so you can only send one of these action every 1 second. We're going to create that, and off we go. So now we'll have to test the rule, okay, to make sure it works. So we're going to go back to our application here. We're going to stop there, and what we'll do is we'll manually push active power to a high threshold. So for example here I'm going to push to 90, so that should be the value that we need to trigger our rule. So if I go back there now, we can probably reload the page. As you can see here, our actually it's been triggered twice. Okay, it was like 50, and so I suppose that the data generator triggered it straight up, but like we just trigger it now, it created an incident report for that device. So to make sure it worked, to make sure the action worked, we can go to device listing, click in here, and okay, here as you can see, the two trigger have been the two rules have been triggered here. I think you see the event here, they're from another rule I used to have and I forgot to delete. So just to be sure, if I look at my rules, I think that was a rule demo 1 here. Yeah, okay. So I think it's been triggered by these rules that I had and I forgot to delete. Okay, fair enough. So now going back here to device listing, we got this event here in these widgets, but it's not inside our app. So I'll show you another widget we can add to our application to be able to see in real time this event. So we're gonna go back here. We're gonna add a new widget, and this time we're gonna go to the table category here, and the one we want is table of events. Here we're gonna select it. I don't think there is any type of config needed here, so I'm just gonna rename this table. Done. So our table of incident is here. What I can do is reduce a bit the size, put it like that. Don't looks too bad. And now what I can do here, pick the last 60 hours. We're gonna turn this on again, like every 5 seconds. I want you to refresh, and we're gonna pick here 110 active power 81. So as you can see here, just push the new data point, and this should also trigger a rule there. So what time is it now? 26. So here this one has just been triggered there. We can add another one up, and we should see a new line coming up there as well. Up, as you can see, 27. A new warning has been triggered. Alright, so in this course, as you can see, we work with a lot of different areas. So we've learned how to create a device. We saw how to push data points via either a script or a widget to generate data. We learned how to visualize some of the data and live refresh it. And also then we work with our first rule to be able to trigger some event when an incident is detected. So that's it for that video. Please check out the next of the course. So the next video will be focused on, if we go here, on the custom microservices. That'll be a really useful tool for us to be able to integrate other API, or just having data generated automatically for us. So please feel free to reach us to davra.com or check out developer@davra.com for more information about the platform. Talk to you soon. Bye.